Welcome, everybody, to the Orion Drift VRML Season 1, Week 1, our first Saturday of the VRML, and I am here with Kirito and Pine. Pine, how are we feeling this afternoon? I'll start with you at the end.
I am doing amazing. You know, I'm pretty recently woken up, so I'm just trying to wake up a little bit, but you know what? I feel like this will get me in the mood for it. We have an amazing game coming up, you know, Cold versus ASGARD. Two teams, great teams with great players. I'm excited.
Yeah, there's been a lot of hype, Kirito, around this one. A lot of folks interested in seeing this one cast. What do you think the reasoning is behind this?
Well, to be honest, I'm not very fluent in EU games, but it is looking like we are very in favor of Cold for this game. So they must have a pretty good lineup. I'm seeing Pug. I think I recognize his name from Echo.
Yeah, Pug, Mr. Venom, players that stand out to me in particular there that have been around for a long time and I think played in the other tournaments. I want to say Cold was at the top of some of those previous tournaments as well, but it's hard to remember when you cast literally, you know, 56. We had over 110 matches during one of those tournaments, so forgive me if I misremember one or two of them, but yeah, a great couple of teams here this afternoon that are in lobby and ready to go for our first Saturday matchup of the EU region. We've got Cold, we've got ASGARD. They are both in lobby and ready. We are here and ready, and we'll give them the ready up to let them know that they can start whenever they want to go, and then we will dive right into round one as soon as they fire it up. It's up to them for us to determine when we begin, as we do patiently wait. And here we go. Round number one. I'll leave it with you, Kirito and Pine, until a goal is scored.
Sounds great, and we're heading into match one now, with the ball heading out into the immediate possession of Cold. Let's see how they participate in this. Heading over for a pass to Pixel. Pixel tries to get it there, but doesn't unfortunately get it off. I meant to say ASGARD, by the way, back there, not Cold. That's my bad. Yep. We're going to be seeing Venom now ahead just next to Sewers. Finds that pass over to Georgie. Georgie's going to look for another pass, but doesn't find it, unfortunately. Still, Mr. Venom's going to try and pick it back up there with Lol smacking it. Thomas coming in there with a tackle there. Venom now smacking that ball up to Georgie. Georgie's going to see for that goal right now. Does he get it in? He almost gets it in there. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to find it.
We do apologize for the overlays there not showing up. Not sure what the tech issue is on that one, but we'll try and solve it soon as a nice denial of entry there comes in. A beautiful block on the ASGARD side. Cold in purple, ASGARD in blue, as a pass there to the cross, and a nice dunk in goes past the Charleston, and Cold are on the board.
Pixel with the ball now. Georgie kiwiing right next to him, trying to get off that tackle, looking like he's got it, but Pixel's straight back in possession, looking for his pass. He's passed it over to one of his teammates, but Georgie is there for the intercept, bouncing it off of that little lip going into goals, and not quite making the connection into goals. Thomas now with the ball looking for the dunk, but Charles is blocking it, but one of their teammates is right there to get the goal.
Yeah, we do apologize. I think Kirito is a little bit delayed. He's got a bit of a tough time reading names, so I might just jump in here with Pine as a nice bit of passing comes in down in through the sewers, trying to get things set up for the likes of this ASGARD squad. Cold up 2-0 now with 2:50 on the clock, and a pass that gets intercepted by Tamaz as they try to push up for another shot. Pine.
Yeah, Tamaz nicely, just very beautifully manages to just slide it into the goals there. You know, nice and easy. And, you know, we're all having our little bit of stars here. It's very early in the morning, so we do apologize. But without further ado, we're going to be watching here as Pixel now takes that ball up on mound, heads over, finds the pass over to I don't know, but he doesn't manage to pick up the ball. It got intercepted there by Tamaz. Tamaz now going to try and lock in here. Finds the pass over to Venom. Venom unfortunately misses the ball, but still somehow gets it there. Unfortunately, just got swept out by his hands. Venom trying to pick it back up, manages to find that clear. Heads over underneath Sewers. Pixel now picking that up, but kind of lost the ball a little bit for a second there. Pug sweeping in to take it away from him. Is going to unfortunately get tackled with Georgie picking it right up, but immediately tackled again there. Now we're going to be watching as Lol tries to get it over. I don't know, picks up the ball. Tomas comes in for the tackle over on Bridge. Thomas now smacking, trying to find that pass. Venom picks up the ball, goes for a goal. Will he get it in? Yes, he will. It's now 4-0 for Cold.
Pretty solid opener here, Kirito. I think what stands out to me is the passing in particular from this Cold team. They've really got that locked down.
Yes, now Pixel with the ball, making his pass over to It's Lol, but it's just out of his reach there, passing it on to Venom. Venom's making his way along Claw, looking for his pass opportunities, but he's dropped it down to Pug on Mound. Pug resetting it back onto Venom, and it's getting slapped into Thomas's hands. Thomas is passing to Georgie on his way up to Halo. Getting around Lol, trying to get that backwards pass over to Pug, but not connecting into his hands. I don't know, grabbing the ball there. Passing it over to Pixel. Thomas with the ball now. He's making his way up, looking for his passes, but Pixel with the tackle, I don't know, is now in control of the ball, making his way down the field. Trying to get that pass off to Bridge, but as Georgie is there to grab it. Making their way in towards goals, but they've got some defenders over on Cold's side. Pixel now making his way along Mound, dropping it down into sewers where Pug is there to collect the ball.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, really nice bit of defensive work coming in from the ASGARD team right now. They're down 4-0, unfortunately, in this first round. But they are fending off this push pretty well here. A good bit of intercept work, good bit of behind the front line defense. We're seeing in the zone defense coming together. And it might be a little bit too late, Pine, but it's nice to see them at least sort of stand up against this Cold squad. And oh, that point goes in. That one stings. That's actually the mercy at the end of the day, too, I believe. A 5-0, not 6-0. 7 seconds left, though, and the round will end nonetheless. So could be a mercy. They're going to try and keep it up off the ground, and that quickly gets swatted to the floor. Georgie will drop it as they try to take it for another goal, and now it's Cold locking in a 5-1 round 1 win. Again, we apologize for the overlays not showing up, but we get the gameplay right here, and Cold putting quick work of this series, going up 5-0.
I mean, an absolute beautiful first game, going 5-0 there for Cold, which is, I would say it's a little bit surprising because ASGARD have played a match probably like an hour before this. So you'd think, they're pretty warmed up, as you can see there with the defense. I mean, great defense they've had there kind of leading up to the last bit. So they're definitely a little bit more warmed up when it comes to, this match here. But leading into our next round, hopefully we can see ASGARD come with a little bit of a comeback. We don't know. Let's find out.
Into the second round we go, and I have a temporary substitute for our issues with the scoreboard, I believe, because we are still tracking scores, we are still tracking stats. We'll just have to have it up on the bottom of your screen as we do get into the action. Tomas picking up the ball and Pixel Rex scooping it. Cold trying to start things off fast and aggressive here, and on the blue side, ASGARD just trying to get their first point on the board. They have yet to score in round 1, and they've certainly come close. This may be the closest they will get right now, as I do not know. Tries to get in a cross pass, but a quick denial. And is that a shot on goal? Almost, but the Charleston is here to save it.
Charleston now heading up on Halo is going to try and find that pass over to Lol. Lol doesn't manage to pick it up in time, though. Thomas now picking that ball up, going for the pass over to Georgie. Georgie's going to try and find another pass, finds it somewhat, and then loses that ball there almost. Lol now taking that ball up on the shoulder, heading over to Bridge, finds the pass. Pug now sweeps in, takes it there, heads up on Halo with a nice little ceiling carve there. It's going to get tackled, though, unfortunately, losing that ball control. Lol picking it right back up. He's going to swoop right around Venom. Venom's going to try and tackle him and get the ball away. He managed to do it successfully. Now Venom on Bridge is going to try and look for that pass. He isn't able to find it in time. He gets tackled there by Lol, with Charleston trying to take it. George smacking it right out of his hands, but then Pixel, picking that ball right back up, finding that pass all the way over to I don't know.
Really nice.
Are they going to be able to find this goal here? Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get it just in time, with Pug now taking it all the way up onto Halo. He's going to try and find a pass here.
They get close as Charleston blocks that one nicely. A huge save coming in, but they just can't quite get the execution on the front line. The shot on the goal seems to be the hardest part for ASGARD to execute on, and maybe that's more so because of the defense coming in from Cold here. As we do try and lock in, we see Pug with a huge save, but the follow-up puts it through. ASGARD finally getting their first point on the board.
I want to quickly mention that was an own goal.
Ooh, is that how it went in?
Yep.
Well,
I mean, just, beautifully with a nice little rebound there from Georgie. Just kind of, taking a little bit back there from his own goal, try to get it in, but Venom swooped and got it for him.
so fast coming through. Charleston has been great on the goal, but when you come in blasting out of a offensive rollout like that, it can definitely be a dangerous threat. You got to get the tackle executed off here. As a nice bit of a passing sequence comes in, the 1-2 punch and the shot down onto Pug. The follow-up doesn't come through, and Pug with a huge save.
Pug now making his way up to Halo, getting his way around its low, moving towards the goals. He's looking for his pass across to one of his teammates. He's now connected it with Thomas. Thomas is going in for the goal, and he gets it around the goalie. Charleston now popping it out for his teammate.
Curious to see these offensive rollouts, how they... You can see Mr. Venom trying to be a front-line threat, and you can see the back line trying to deter Venom from intercepting their QB out the rollout, and that has worked nicely here. Is a beautiful setup. What a nice offensive sequence coming in from ASGARD. They're here to play. This Cold team somehow squeaked away with 5-0 in round one, but in round two, I just feel like we're seeing a different animal come in from this ASGARD squad. They seem locked in, and they're putting points on the board. They're keeping things close as we're tied 2-2 here, make it 3-2 quickly with an answer back from Cold. And Pine, they just continue to be so fast with their points here. It's like we're blasting through what is, the last couple minutes of this round, but only a minute 15 on the clock and already 5 points scored.
This is what happens when you get two great teams. You just end up seeing, so many different things happen between rounds. And we're going to be watching here as ASGARD try to go for the goal there, but Georgie's just going to swoop in and kind of run out of boost there. Lana picking it up with almost one person in goal here. Will they find that goal? They will, bringing it for 3-3. If no one gets a goal here within the next minute, we will be seeing an overtime game, which could be pretty interesting here.
Yeah, sign me up. Thomas with a huge offensive roll. Look at how fast they come flying in. Somehow the shot misses high, and that is very fortunate for ASGARD. The first offensive point that hasn't instantly gone in. ASGARD are into a bit of a rhythm. Maybe they can pick up the rebound here as a nice swat back into the corner puts the ball into the Cold zone. And they recognize they can't have it around for long. Quickly cleared back out to the midfield. Charleston pushes out from goal. Dangerous move, but it gets it into the hands of I do not know. Looking for a ceiling carve and a maneuver away from this defensive pressure. They cannot escape it, and the ball's back into Cold's hands.
Overtime madness.
And Pine, we're into overtime. It's Lal diving up to the top already, hand into the ball in the ASGARD's hand, and a nice denial there. Good dive out from the center line defense. Cold showcasing their wall around the goal there really well. Very nicely done, denying the offensive pressure. Kirito?
Yes, sorry. Thomas making his way into goal, not quite getting his armor over to that pass. Itzlo is now trying to look for his passes, but Thomas has got the tackle there, making his pass back towards goals. But there's a Halo in the way. Georgie now making his way over to Claw, closely followed by Pixel Rax. Venom getting it up to Roof, passing back over to Halo. Venom then passing it over to Georgie, trying to get that double play off of the backboard, but not quite making it in. Going for the slam down for the mercy. Wait, is that a mercy?
Oh, that was
sorry, for the win.
The winning
win
point
in overtime.
in a tie. Welcome to the match, Kirito. 3-3.
Yeah.
Round two goes 4-3 for Cold and a second round win. But Pine, that was a little bit different than our first one for sure.
100%. You know, seeing ASGARD just almost come out of that little slump there and just absolutely lock in was just amazing to see. Bringing it into an overtime, I could be wrong, but I kind of want to see them go to overtime for this next round as well. I mean, overtime matches are some of the most interesting, at least in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it definitely gets the pressure on. I mean, we've been casting VRML matches this week. We still have yet to go to a fourth round. So I've only seen 3-round series done and dusted, and well, we're going to get into our third round here, and we'll see if ASGARD can put a round on the board. It's a 5-round series. How many more times can I say round? And, you know, obviously you want to get one here to extend your lifeline. Otherwise, this is series point for Cold. They just need to lock in this win in the next 5 minutes, and they've got themselves their win in VRML for Season 1.
100%. So we're going to be seeing Venom get that pass all the way over to Pug. Pug's now going to try and find another pass, but unfortunately gets tackled by I don't know. Georgie now heading up on Halo is going to be marked there by I don't know. Finds that pass, but unfortunately Thomas is not there to pick it up in time. Swoops in, steals that ball. Pug just got in his way, making his own teammate lose that ball control. We're going to be watching here now as they get that pass. Almost a clear there, actually. Now with Georgie swooping in to steal it, gets marked by two of them, just managed to jump right over them onto Halo. I don't know, is going to be carefully watching Georgie as he finds that pass over to Venom. Venom unfortunately doesn't catch it, neither does Pug. The ball is now out of the open here, leading for Pixel to head up onto Halo. Gets the pass, but unfortunately his teammates run right past it, leading for Tomas to just come in and steal that ball like it's no tomorrow. Now, heading underneath Bridge, is going to try and get that pass over to Venom. Venom's going to try and get that goal, but unfortunately, someone swoops underneath him and grabs it out of his hands. Now, all out in the open with Venom grabbing it once again. He's going to try and find that pass to Georgie. Georgie manages to swoop in and grab it there. Gets the pass all the way over to Tomas. So to Tomas, he has to either find a pass or get this goal here. Gets the pass to Georgie. And Georgie goes for the goal and gets it in, leading for our first goal here in the third round.
What stood out to you there, Kirito, with how Cold executed that play? Because to me, I really saw again that clean pass work under pressure.
Yes, I'm seeing a lot of chemistry on Cold's side. Just the back passes, not even looking at their teammates, still connecting it through there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely
Thomas making his way through now.
Impressive with how well the Cold team is able to execute and trust in their teammates. Maybe it's the communication that we're not necessarily keyed into, but either way, ASGARD also have been applying the pressure in that last round. In round 3 here, they're trying to do it again. They want to put another point on the board and answer back. I don't know. Going to try and bounce past that to the center, and that one tries to get cleared out, but it's Lol. Puts their hands up and denies it from going through. Georgie just trying to get the ball out of their zone, but cannot get it out, and finally it's swatted away.
We're going to be seeing Charleston now try and pick that ball up. Goes for the long shot pass, though. Unfortunately, Tomas just tries to swoop in and grab it, but it's kind of in a fist fight here with Pixel and Tomas, trying to get that ball control. With Tomas finalizing it and picking it up. Gets tackled, though, with Venom just swooping in to steal it with so much speed there. Tries and goes for the goal, but unfortunately doesn't get it in. Georgie tries to swoop back in underneath it, but Charleston manages to close it in and go for an own goal there.
Yeah, Tomas on the end there, flying up and swatting it down. And Charleston obviously not trying to go for the own goal, but does end up putting it in. And you can see again Tomas with the pressure on the front line, and a nice pass sequence here. Very good, splendid answer back from ASGARD. The perfect way to keep things in control in round 2. I mean, Kirito, if that goal doesn't score, then it's a 2-0 race, a runaway going on right now with Cold.
Yes. Okay, Venom making his way over to Sidewalk now. He's got 2 open passes. He's going to pass off of backboard. It's Lol now in possession of the ball. Passing over to Sidewalk, right into I don't know's hands. He's going to get that pass off to Pixel Raph, but Raph is going to drop it. But he gets it back for the goal.
You love to see the follow-up coming in.
2-2.
We're tied 2-2. Timer is a minute left on the clock, and they got to slow down this offensive rollout because Tomas has been devastating when they get that momentum and keep it, and they have it right now. They're flying into that goal, and there's the shutdown. I do not know. Dives forward. Pug keeps the ball into their hands. The pass back down. Charleston able to swat it away, but that one was a little chaotic. 3 were in the goal, and it nearly went past them. Denied nonetheless by ASGARD, and let's see if they can put a leading point on the board here in these final seconds of round number 3. Can they take a third round and push us to a round number 4? 25 seconds left. That's almost a shot on goal, but as Georgie is here on the back line, Pixel tries to intercept it but can't, and now it's offensive pressure. A missed pass, a rare one from Cold, and it's back into the hands of ASGARD.
Now with 10 seconds left on the clock, it looks like we're going to be going into an overtime unless one of the teams can finalize this goal here. As Georgie getting swooped in on there by Pixel and Lol picking it back up. Pug trying to get that tackle. Now we're heading into an overtime here. 2-2 match point. We're going to see Georgie now try to swoop around with that momentum. Goes for the final goal and gets it in, leading for a win there for Gold.
We do not go to a round 4. They do not pass go on the ASGARD side. It's Cold who take a chilling win in 3 rounds, but not something that I guess something that was expected, Kirito. When you look again at the connoisseur votes, a lot of folks voting for Cold to take this one this afternoon.
Yes, but even taking that into account, ASGARD with some amazing defensive plays through that game, really pushing back on Cold's offense, just not quite enough to get that win in that last game.
Yeah, it really felt like to me, Pine, they were getting momentum in round 2. I thought that we might truly see a goal locked in by ASGARD in that 3rd round to push us to our first 4th round in VRML on the broadcast side, but it just wasn't to be. I mean, what do you think stood out to you with Cold there?
You know, definitely kind of reminds me of the Hot game that we casted yesterday. A lot of great teamwork and a lot of great passing. You know, like you mentioned earlier in the cast, they're definitely very confident in each other, you know, to be correctly positioned and where they are, you know, making a few no-look passes from what I saw there, you know, just very heavily reliant on their team. With ASGARD, you know, picking up on that defense as time went on, just kind of letting Cold know that they know what they're doing and they're not here to mess around.
Yeah, it's fun to see teams come out and play like this so solidly in the first week of the season, and I am floating around to see if we have another game scheduled on the EU side. I thought there was one more coming, Catalyst versus Interstellars, but maybe we're on the wrong server. We could see if we wanted to keep this thing alive for some more games, but regardless, I think we are going to take a break. If we do stick around, we'll keep on streaming, and if we don't, then we will sign off. We appreciate everyone hanging out and tuning in. My name is Ben Nightfire with 2 E's. My co-caster is Cold and Kirito. We will see you all for more games if there are. Until next time, stay classy.